Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? If you've been watching anime or even Japanese movies for the last few years, then you would have probably noticed a sudden influx of remakes in the last little while. There was an article recently published by Otakomu.jp that outlined why exactly this was happening in the anime industry, and I thought some of you may be interested in getting an insider view of the industry, as this article actually interviews a journalist that is very knowledgeable about this whole remake situation. Having so many remakes in the last few years isn't just a coincidence, or just companies celebrating milestone anniversaries. Two of the biggest series from the anime boom in the late 90s being Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon contributed heavily to the increase of anime production back then, as production companies saw the ridiculous profits they were making and DVD sales were at an all-time high. Both got a remake in the last few years, but even with tactics such as throwing in lottery voice actor event tickets in their physical Blu-rays or DVDs, the sales numbers just weren't the same as before. So if you stop and think about it, if remakes that already have an established fanbase are struggling to make a profit, it is astronomically harder for a series that's based on a manga or light novels, and especially for original series to cover even the production costs. That is pretty much the biggest reason why we are seeing so many remakes and sequels to different shows, as the current market makes it incredibly risky to produce original stuff. The next question was, with all these sequels or remakes, how does this affect the industry though? Are these series gathering new fans for the industry, or is it just milking the original fanbase? So there is good news here. Shows are generally doing pretty well in gathering new fanbase, as a lot of the people that watched Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball growing up are already parents and have probably exposed their children to these shows in some form or another, like toys, video games, or the actual anime. In fact, shows like Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon have gained massive support from children, especially Dragon Ball Super making a record 39.6 billion yen in sales, taking over One Piece at 23.2 billion this year. Gundam is obviously still at the top with 56.5 billion, but that's Gundam, so it's playing a different game. We are also seeing remakes of titles that were not as popular as Dragon Ball Z back then. However, given that they were still a hit back then, production companies are basically betting on the same reason it got popular back then, and hopefully that new audiences will also find it similarly attractive. But the key here is, all remakes already have an established base, with character designs, environmental designs, and story background, so the production schedule of remakes are also much shorter. The bottom line is, it's cheaper, easier, and more profitable to make remakes, so we're gonna see more and more of them in the next little while. This journalist also noted that there are many remake projects that haven't even been announced yet, that are currently being developed, so be on the watch out for more. I'm curious as to what remakes you would like to see in the near future that haven't been announced yet. Keep in mind that the word remake in this article also refers to sequels to original series, such as the upcoming Code Geass sequel. So pretty much every single series you've watched ever has a possibility of a sequel or a remake. My vote is on Evangelion, but as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, and don't forget to follow Tokyosaurus on social media for Japanese culture tweets and video updates. And subscribe to Tokyosaurus if you haven't already for the latest things people are talking about in Japan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.